Hey everybody, today I'm at Parlon Cafe with a good friend of mine, Ed Fleischman. Now look, after watching this video, you're going to learn about a little cafe in Old Metairie that's very unique in a lot of ways, but I can't just tell you about it. You're going to have to hear it from my friend Ed when we tell you about his little cafe. It's going to be really unique, really interesting. So let me bring him on. Ed, thank you so much for coming on today. Oh, we got to do a little fist bump. Appreciate it. There we go. And by the way, we didn't plan on wearing the same shirts. I haven't talked to him in a week since we planned this. We just happen to be wearing the same blue shirt today. Ed, what kind of cafe do you have here?
Well, I started out thinking it was going to be a French cafe, francophones, francophiles, but I'm finding out that New Orleans people want New Orleans food and a New Orleans atmosphere and New Orleans friendly treatment. And that includes red beans and rice every Monday.
I like that.
Yes.
Well, it's interesting because you said, people want not a good meal and good prices. I'm going to add that in here, but also that they like friends.
Yes.
And so your cafe, you kind of offer that kind of friendship when people come in. You like to talk and you like to serve people.
Yeah, I like to cook and I like to entertain, and I usually have a joke in my back pocket.
Okay.
If it's requested. But I do like entertaining. I do like interacting with people, and a lot of these people are my friends and some family, and if they weren't my friends when they came in, hopefully they're my friends by the time they leave, because we're not looking to serve everybody. We're looking to serve people who appreciate good food and good company and a pleasant decor. It's not a fast food restaurant.
It's not some place they're going to walk into and say, here's what I want and I want it to go.
Right.
And, it's funny you say that because you made me think of something we talked about earlier, which is that you're a retiring attorney.
I'd like to say that I'm retired, but I'm pretty close to retirement.
But the reason for that is you've had a passion for cooking your whole life, but you haven't had time because you've been busy being an attorney.
That's right.
And so now in your retirement, you just want to cook for people, have them come visit you. But also, I want to point out something else. Don't you teach French?
Yes, I do. I teach French in the cafe. And when COVID is over, there's another French teacher who is teaching here, but she went to Zoom, understandably.
Yeah.
And I enjoy teaching French. Now, for at least 50 years, I cooked for my kids. So it's not like I'm new to cooking.
Yeah.
I like to say that I've been cooking since most of these young chefs were born.
Well, and I want to point out something else that makes your cafe unique, that you don't just take walk-ins.
Correct.
Because you don't want just people just walking in, because, and I know I'm answering for you, but I love the way you told me, and so I remembered it, which is you don't want somebody would not walk into their friend's house and just say, cook me a meal.
Right.
Likewise, since you offer that same level of friendship, you want some people to call you first, correct?
Yes, correct. Well, my thinking is I'm not going to cook a lot of food and then have it go to waste. I want to cook approximately what I need for whoever I'm expecting for lunch or dinner. Now, if someone walks in and I happen to have the food and I happen to have the space, I'm not going to turn them away. But that's not my demographic. I'm looking for people who want to eat in a pleasant environment. They're not in a hurry, although we move our dishes. In other words, you can do a full-course meal easily in an hour.
Yeah.
Plus a glass of wine. And while we're on the subject of the 4 courses, I prefer to serve what I call a table d'hôte. That's 4 courses plus a glass of wine. and at lunch that would be $20, and for dinner it would be in the $30 to $40 range, depending on what the entree is. And I think that's entirely reasonable. I'm not in this business to make a killing. I don't need to. That's not my motivation. And frankly, I want to have fun while I'm working, okay? And if our customers come in and they weren't our friends when they came in, hopefully they're our friends when they leave, by the time they leave.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Now you're in Metairie.
Yes.
You're on Metairie Road.
Near Langenstein.
Near Langenstein's, between Langenstein's and Bonneville, we'll say.
Right.
And Parlon Cafe, the S is silent. And you're not going to take some walk-ins. You just want people to. How far in advance do you generally like people to call you to have reservations?
That's a good question. The day before is fine. And if they call me early enough, and if they tell me what they want me to prepare for them,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'll do. I'll prepare what they want to eat. Give me a
So
time
you'll
to
actually
prepare.
make something they want, opposed to them picking something that you have.
Right.
Now, but of course, I'm sure the more elaborate the meal, the more in advance you like them to call.
Yes.
Like the day before is always good.
And the menu's limited. The idea is that I will have a vegetarian alternative, and I'll have what I anticipate to be most in demand. I've been doing coq au vin, I've been doing beef bourguignon, I've been doing catfish courtbouillon. Of course, red beans every Monday. Got to have red beans every Monday. And I think that's an advantage for our cafe, because a lot of restaurants are closed on Monday.
Okay.
And we'll be open every Monday, and we will serve red beans and rice, of course.
So for somebody who just happens to say, hey, look, I don't want to cook tomorrow, and I'm going to make some reservations. I'm going to tell Ed this is what I want, and you'll tell them whether or not you can make it or not, or if you have it, can do it. They can make. If somebody calls up, say, around before 12 or 2 and says, hey, I want to come in today, it might limit you what you can cook a little bit more.
That's
because of the time frame, but you're going to be very accommodating. You just want people to call first. And what's your number again?
828-1001. That's 504, of course.
And so if they call up, they make some reservations, they can come in, get some good friendship, some good food, reasonably priced, and everybody gets to walk away as a friend.
Yeah.
That's your goal.
Yes. And we do tell jokes on request. And
They're not really good. No.
They're varying in quality,
Yeah.
but we can do a pretty good Cajun joke. And we do have a Facebook page in case you have trouble remembering
What's
the
your
number.
Facebook page?
Parlon Cafe LLC.
Oh, and the S is silent.
Yes.
So it really, hooked on phonics is Parlons, but the S is silent, right?
Yeah. And it's Parlon Cafe LLC. You have to put the LLC, or you'll get stuff from all over the world, that you don't want. You just want that Facebook page.
The only stuff from all over the world that they might want is your food that you cook from all over the world, right?
That's it. That's it. Just by coincidence, there's a coffee called Parlon Cafe. I think it's in South Africa, but
Okay.
I don't want to be confused with them. And we do serve good dark roast coffee.
Okay.
And we serve a lot of it. And we have 2 choices for wine, a red and a white.
I love it. Two choices.
Lady came in and she said, I'd like a Pinot Grigio. And I said, well, we have a red and a white.
In other words, you keep it very simple.
Yes.
You don't employ a lot of people. You make it and simplicity also means they have to call first. The decorations here are very simple, yet you feel very, there's a lot of French decorations here, very laid back, very casual. You'll feel like you're at a friend's house.
that's my aim. That's what I'd like to do. In fact, I have a book that I've been reading. It's called Sunday Evening Dinner, and I'm trying to model as much on that as I can. But, you know, like you say, it's like eating in someone's home. And I'm reminded of that restaurant which used to have what they call a feed me menu.
Okay.
You just sat down and they just brought you food without ordering.
That's a great point.
Yeah, and I'd like to be able to do that as much as possible.
So if somebody happens to call you close to opening time, they might get the feed me menu
There you go.
on whatever you had.
Yeah. Yes.
If they call you a little earlier and make reservations that you like to have made, then they're going to get to a little bit more choice. But if they call the day before, you're going to be able to cook something magnificent for them,
Yes.
reasonably priced, and they're going to leave with a new friend.
I hope so. I certainly hope so.
Well, Ed, is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think you've asked all the right questions, and hopefully I was able to answer them. But I appreciate the opportunity to sit down and talk with you and talk to your friends, the people who will be watching this.
Awesome. Well, Ed Fleischman, Parlon Cafe, Metairie Road here in Metairie. Great neighborhood restaurant. He loves the neighborhood here, loves the people here, extends an invitation.
Lots of parking.
Oh, yes, he has lots of parking too.
Yes.
Because you're on the corner of Metairie Road and what's the side street?
Rosa Avenue.
And Rosa Avenue. So lots of good parking.
And you know that's rare in Metairie.
It
They have
really
lots
is.
Of parking.
So, well, Ed, thank you so much for coming on today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
And what's the number one more time for the people who need to call in for those reservations?
828-1001. It's the same as the address, 1001.
All right, everybody, share the video, please, with some friends. Share it with somebody about meeting here with some other friends, and hope to see you here soon. Have a great day. Thank you so much.